What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking. Today we're going to be talking about watches and what's the best watch you can buy right now. Guys, you know I'm a fan of buying watches secondhand. In fact, I've gotten all my watches secondhand. It's just too hard to get them from an AD sometimes. But if we're talking about what's the best watch that you can buy right now, I think prices in the secondhand are way too high right now. So that just leaves the AD. I know what you're thinking, Lewis, you can't buy any watches from the AD right now. Well, kind of, right? So I've been into a Rolex AD many times, and it's always the same few watches that are in stock. It's the two-tone Datejust, the ladies Datejust. Sometimes there's a men's white dial Datejust. I think I've seen that once. There seems to always be a precious metal Skydweller in stock. 40, 50 grand, no thanks. I've seen a platinum Yachtmaster 2 in stock once, 50 grand, no thanks. Yachtmaster 1 stainless steel, saw that in stock last week. I've seen a stainless steel Explorer in stock. And historically, besides recently, I've seen the Oyster Perpetual 39 in stock, right? Can you guys all agree with me that these are usually the models in stock? So I want to share a story with you. Everyone remembers that Rolex introduced their new models to be coming out September 1st. So after I found out that there was a new Submariner, a new set of Oyster Perpetuals, and some other things that I'm not really worried about, I went to my AD, I believe on September 2nd or September 3rd. I thought the new Oyster Perpetuals were real hot, and at $5,900, they're a great value. So I made my way down to Mayors, the local AD of Rolex watches here in Miami. I walked in, a lady greeted me, and I said, "Hey, do you guys have the new Oyster Perpetual?" And she said, yeah, do you want it with a date? I said, well, no, the Oyster Perpetual, the new 41 model, they don't have a date. I think I want to see it in the red one if you have it. So she leads me to the computer in the back. We're on the Rolex website. She configures the models, as you guys have probably done. I know I've done it many times at home. And she goes to her computer. She goes to the Oyster Perpetual models, the 41s. And I can tell that she's seeing the new colors for the very first time. She's excited. I'm excited with her. And I'm telling her that the red one really pops out. And that's the one I think I want. We stand there. We talk about watches for a little while. And finally, she says, do I want to put a deposit down? Having been in this Mayors before, and actually in 3 or 4 other ADs in Miami, only one store has actually asked me for a deposit before. All the other ones, they said that they weren't allowed to take deposits. So when she asked me, I was actually happily surprised. I was happy to put a deposit down. I feel that it makes my waiting list a little bit more legitimate. So I said, yes, I'd be happy to put a deposit down. She turns over to her manager. They talk in Spanish. I don't know how to speak Spanish. And she told me, unfortunately, they're not taking deposits at this time. Again, this was September 2nd or 3rd. So she gets my name. I'm on the list. And I walk out and I leave. That weekend is Labor Day weekend. I go out of town. I go to Jacksonville. And while in Jacksonville, I get a call from her. She says, hey, do you want to come in the store and give a deposit? We're allowed to take deposits now. I figured the way she asked me that was to give me an out in case I wasn't serious about buying the watch. I could tell her no, I didn't want to come in. Honestly, I was out of town, so I couldn't come in, but I offered to give her a credit card over the phone. She was happy to take it. And so I was formally on her waiting list with the deposit down, and I feel comfortable with that. Hopefully, I'll be one of the first ones to get one as soon as they receive inventory. Now, you never know, because I don't have any spending history with this store. I could be on this waiting list for years, who knows? But I do feel good that at least I'm somewhere on this list. Anyways, just wanted to make a quick video and share that story with you. I think the Oyster Perpetual, one of the new colors, they're fun. I think it's a great watch to buy right now, or at least get on the list. I don't know if it's too late at this point. And going back there this week to retrieve my physical receipt because I was out of town and gave her my credit card over the phone. I chatted with her a little bit and she said that there's been a lot of interest in this watch. The only reason I feel confident that this isn't going to be a multi-year waiting list watch is because the previous generation of the Oyster Perpetual was not a popular watch. So why do I like it now? Well, number one, it's 41 millimeters. I like bigger watches. Number two, it's got the fun colors. It's a little bit different than what Rolex has done traditionally. I think the yellow one pops. I think the baby blue one is a nice color for men or women. I'm not a big fan of the dark green one. I thought the dark green one would be nice, but it just seems a little bit too dark. But we'll see. I think they're a great value. At $5,900, they're $2,000 less than the Datejust. And I don't know the intricacies of what's difference between the 41 Datejust and the 41 OP. I'm not a connoisseur of watches. I just like to have them. I'm sure there's other channels to break down the details of the differences and stuff. But at $2,000 less with just losing the date window, I think that's a great deal, because if you look at the Submariner, the difference between the date version and the non-date version is $1,000. So you're saving an extra $1,000 by going with an Oyster Perpetual, and you're getting a fun color. So at $5,900, it's a very entry-level Rolex. I would feel very comfortable traveling with this. I don't know if I would be comfortable traveling with a high-end watch, especially out of country, going through customs. I've just not had experiences like that before, and I don't want to find out. And certainly this goes without saying, I think it's also a great daily wear. It pops, it's a Rolex, beautiful watch, great to mix in with more formal, dressier watches. So all in all, I think this is a great buy. I think it's something that's somewhat realistic given the situation of Rolex and waiting lists in the past. And as I mentioned, a great value and a great first watch. Guys, I hope you liked this video. As always, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I try to make content about watches, but also about motivation, saving money, and maximizing your lifestyle. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. So I finished this video and I wanted to come back and add this piece. If you watched this video and you decided that yes, you want to get an Oyster Perpetual as well, I might suggest 3 things. Number 1, I would suggest going to a few different ADs. Nothing stopping you from going to more than one. You shouldn't limit yourself. When I was looking for my first Rolex, I went to 3 or 4 of them. Some of them wouldn't even put me on their list. As I mentioned, a lot of them would not take my deposit. Fast forward about 8 months, only one of them called me for a Submariner at the time. If you watch my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. But long story short, I would definitely suggest going to more than one AD. Number 2, as I mentioned, I'm on this waiting list. She's taking my money. I'm gonna go back and show my face every few weeks. I want to show her that I'm interested. I want to show her that I'm serious. I probably won't stop in on Saturdays. I went in on Saturday to pick up my receipt. The store was full of people. I might go on a weekday. Again, just to show my face, just to keep myself top of mind with her, and hopefully when that Oyster Perpetual does come in, she remembers me over everyone else. And then finally, the last thing I might suggest is signing up for a credit card. I've made videos about this in the past. Buying a watch is a great way to satisfy that initial minimum spend. Right now, Amex Gold has a welcome offer of 60,000 points. Usually it's 35,000. Eventually, if you convert to a Charles Schwab, you can convert that 1.25x into cash. I'll make a video about that probably in December. But it's a great return on investment, and again, satisfies that initial spend immediately. So again, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked the tips. Please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time.